Okay, new place. This is my writing desk. I don't actually write on it. Probably should. It's very good vibes over here. Like, you have all my paintbrushes. I have an excessive amount of paintbrushes. Inks. And there's a few cameras around here. But yeah, so different place. See how this looks. Like, just from like the screen it looks okay, but we'll find out when I'm editing it in a little bit. But yeah, I feel burnt out, but not for the reason you think of. And part of that is like the I'm burnt out YouTuber thing is a bit of a trope. I'd say trope, but kind of like a sad reality of when you have to spend every waking moment working, you're eventually going to feel like you're dead. And then need to take a vacation and a break. And an actual vacation, not a working vacation. But yeah. I think there's like 10 people on this that are following my YouTube channel. There's 5 people on my newsletter, and then there's 430, 50, somewhere in the 400 something range on my Instagrams. But I'm not burnt out by production. I'm burnt out from consumption. Now, that might initially sound really strange. How can you be burnt out from consuming media? And there's a couple of reasons. One, it's mildly depressing. And like studies have shown, like binge watching television or watching television is mildly depressing. To basically, like, you need to be active for it to actually a positive stress rather than negative stress. So you should do things like, hey, play video games is healthier for you than watching television. There's also the issue of algorithms like increasingly giving me garbage that I did not ask for. And I say that as someone who enjoys shitty television, enjoys shitty garbage. I love my cult stuff. But I also recognize that a lot of the things that algorithms are designed to push you towards is the things that are more likely to engage the middle, as many people as possible. Which is the exact opposite of why I enjoy the internet. I enjoy the internet for the fringe bullshit. I love some gay characters. Come on. I would like to watch television and the disabled character to appear for more than just the very special episode where the main character learns to stop being such an asshole. And then the disabled character, like, disappears into the void. Because you don't want to look at disabled people. They're gross. Andi says as a disabled person. So, you have this kind of conflicting, these, like, intersecting pressure points for me. One, that I'm having to spend more time, like, looking through social media to find content that I actually want to consume, which is a waste of my fucking time. Like, your algorithms are making me do more work, and you are not paying me, so yeah, I'm kind of feeling done. There's also the, like, the very, like, fanficky, like, fandom sort of idea of, like, it could have been better if X, Y, or Z had happened. And knowing that it was right there, like, this little thing, this like clever idea could have happened, and it didn't. And just having that sense of disappointment and knowing that either A, you can go like write fan fiction and fix it, or B, you can go with all of the people whose response to criticism is, well, go make your own stuff then. But yeah, so I'm at the, well, I guess I'll just go make my own content then. So, hi, my name is Andi. I'm mostly a fine art photographer, but we're going to do something completely different. We're going to do world building as an artist project, because that's insane. It's not insane. Maybe we'll make a comic. Maybe we'll do story time. I don't know. We will get to that eventually. So, project is called Cruel Kind. I don't know what the project's going to end up being, whether it's going to be a comic book, an album, series of illustrations, photo shoot, probably all of them just for the hell of it. Maybe we'll have story time. Story time might be fun. But it's a science fantasy setting where you mix like fairy tales with artificial intelligence and robots that are aware of themselves. You have people that are modified both like technically and magically. And it's set aboard the Air City Astoria. An air city being, as the name kind of implies, a city in the air, or an airship that is the size of a city. So the initial like impetus for this was 2008, and a bunch of crazy libertarians like Peter Thiel saying that they wanted to create their own independent island city-states. And I should probably inform you, like, if you don't know who Peter Thiel is a cartoon villain brought to life. His goal his goal and many libertarians' goals with this like independent ship/city, like artificial islands, some way to like get outside of the boundaries of other countries and their laws. Notably, the things like minimum wage and human testing requirements, i.e., we want slaves and to do things that are unethical and maybe not even that scientific. Because fuck the poor. That ends up being what libertarianism eventually devolves into, is fuck the poor. Which, again, cartoon villainy level. When I was younger, I would have thought, like, this is a joke. Like, this is ridiculous. No, turns out evil people are just actually this way. And when I initially, like, thought this up in 2008, it was in, like, the height of this, like, dystopian era. Or dystopian genre fiction. And it's like, yeah. If you had, like, an independent city-state run by corporations to do research on weapons development, it would suck. And the dystopian, like, young adult genre thing would be, like, having the revolution and overthrowing it and then kind of hand-waving away what happens after that. In case you haven't noticed, we're in late-stage capitalism. It's already a dystopian hellscape. And it's just gonna get better. By better, I mean increasingly worse as AIs take everyone's jobs and mass unemployment. And the further concentration of wealth into a few people. Yeah, that's really depressing. I don't think the story of a revolution is helpful anymore. In large part because it kind of shifts it to it's someone else's problem, not your problem. some hero is going to rise up, unify everyone, and then they're going to get rid of the evil corporation, government, etc. Having a savior is not constructive. It's not helpful. It just paralyzes you so that you stop doing things, so that you're just waiting to be saved. And I'm not saying that as, like, you should save yourself, because, hey, I'm chronically ill and disabled. I can't fucking do anything. I'm happy if I don't throw up every day. Which is really depressing to say out loud. But, whatever. But, overthrowing the evil regime isn't interesting. You've seen that story. I've seen that story. That story does not help anyone. What comes afterwards is way more interesting to me. What kind of alternative government or way of having society could we do? What could we do? If I just, like, magic dusted capitalism away, what would happen? How would you organize the world? Alternative futures that sort of bypass the everything is awful stage are more interesting, because that gives you a guideline to what you could build towards. This is the future you could have, and you can work backwards from that to figure out how you could do that without the whole overthrowing the government thing. Like, how do you just bypass that? How do we get there? So, Brokai is set on the Air City Astoria. Air City being a made-up word for airship with city, i.e. floating city. I think I already told you this. Astoria is divided into two big parts. One being the upper city, i.e. everything on top. And the undercity, the things inside of the hull of the ship. And the idea that I had was that the hull part is the original city. The dystopian, everyone gets experimented on area. And that gets kind of shitty and increasingly shitty. And then the people being experimented on kills all of the bad people, all of the shitty people. And rather than, like, stay down there, they build an entire city on top of the layers of the old one, which probably is a more interesting metaphor than I actually have time to care about. So, you have a revolution. I bet. Okay, so Astoria is divided. I bet. It's okay. I don't know where there's people screaming outside either. It kind of bullshit. It really bullshit. So, hopefully people will stop screaming. Hopefully my babies will stop screaming in response. Probably not. So, Astoria is divided between two big pieces. There's the upper city above the plate holding everything. And then there's the undercity within the hull of the ship. The undercity being the original city. Oh. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay, Vivian. Why are you just doing vlogging? It's okay. So, Astoria is divided into two major parts. There's the upper city above, and then within the hull of the ship is the undercity. The undercity would be our original city. The original city, the one where people got experimented on. And, yep. Baby Belle, it's okay. Are you looking for doggy? Well, hold on. Let me open the door so you can see doggy. Hi, Ollie. Pip was looking for you. If you couldn't tell by the yelling. He was looking for you. So, Astoria is divided into two large parts. First is the Undercity, within the hull of the ship. This is the older part of the city of Astoria, where the experiments and other things occurred. It's more polluted and more in the dystopian hellscape sort of fashion, where it's currently controlled by 4 factions: the Redcaps, the Montecchi Syndicate, the Cobalt Cult, and the Aura Mafia, and they just sort of vie for control over the areas. And the remnants of the technology that's there, all the research things. These are mostly the descendants of the people that were doing the experimenting, I guess. While, like, the people that got experimented on are basically like fairy folk. And rather than stay down there, they built an entire city atop the ship. And it's protected from the elements by magic, so yay, magic. We can just like hand wave things away and not care about physics or oxygen levels. And the upper city is this sort of utopian ideal while having 8 sectors. The upper city is more utopian than the undercity, but it has 8 sectors that are kind of vying for control because they have different things of what they view as happy, what brings you happy. You have groups like the Sideria in Sector 1, where they're super into the arts. They think you should be creative and make things, and that's the best way to do things. Next door is Inbahar, and here they are very physical, body-oriented. They think your body is a temple and you should work it out, which does veer into some fascist ideas and militarism. But, like, I don't view physical strength as like inherently evil. In the same way, like, I'm not gonna get mad at Shaolin monks for working out. Like, yeah, your body, you should get to use it. We have Metropoli, which has people that are very service oriented and homemaking. They think the most important thing you can do is hospitality related things, like cooking and making friends and shit. I don't know what extroverts like doing. I want to just hide in my hole away from them. So we have these different parts with very different ideas of how you should live. And I find that, like, something that I've like found lacking in a lot of world building, especially like in science fiction, is that you get like the entire world and it's all the same. There's no like diversity in cultures or even like weather or geography. You have the water planet and the desert planet and the mega city planet. There's not a lot of variety within that, and that's not really representative. Because what I think you should do, what I find like fulfilling isn't necessarily the same thing as everyone else. And I don't feel like I should say, hey, your utopia should look like this. So, we're gonna make Crow kind. I don't know if this is gonna be a comic, or story time, or illustration, or photo series, but we're gonna go and do it. We might make all of the things. Why the hell not? This is a big world building project that I've spent years on. And I need to actually produce something besides notes. I need something concrete. And I'd rather use that energy that I was wasting on consumption producing something. And I'm just gonna say this right now. If you want to world build it with me, fantastic. Hit me up. Or don't. I don't care. I'm done caring about engagement. If you write a comment, I will probably read it. And depending on what it is, I will respond. Honestly, if you write a comment and I have like 30 people, I will probably is not actually accurate. I will fucking read it. And if I have something to say, I will. But yeah. I'm tired of caring about consumption. I'm kind of tired of like caring about engagement. This is me screaming into the void and going like, hey, you know what? That void's looking pretty sexy right now. The void's looking good. The void is not problematic. I'm gonna be Team Void. We're gonna scream in the void, and I'm not gonna care anymore if no one gives a shit. I'm not going to let these perfectionistic, I have to do perfect things, it has to be absolutely right. Oh god, how is the timeline going to work out in this? How does this make narrative sense? I don't care anymore. I've decided that I'm not going to care. I'm just going to start making things. So, yeah. See you soon. Please stop. Please just fucking stop. Why do you have to be loud? There's like 3 hospitals near me. Which, good news, like, I can walk to various hospitals and get help. Negative side is this sound. It's driving me slowly insane.